I'm Karthikeyan VK. I'm a Microsoft MVP. So why I did the conference, the so-called session is to make sure that there is one actual thing you need to take care whenever you want to become an engineering manager. So I'll give a brief background about myself. I used to be a developer and then became an architect, and then I became a VP of engineering, and then now a CTO. So I crossed that roles, right, from developer, DevOps, all that roles across. The major problem was people don't know how to use DevOps and what DevOps has to do. So that's the major crux. So I thought, okay, let me put one session where people can understand what is needed of an DevOps guys, SRE guys, who will actually track specs to engineering manager, right? Then next step. So that's our whole goal. So I have put across some 14 tips. We'll look into that. Before that, somebody asked me why engineering manager. So basically, what manager is to manage a group of DevOps engineers, SRE engineers. So they are called engineering managers, and then they have to make sure that your website is up. And then the third point is a major one, where your goal and your whatever you're going to do has to align with company initiatives. Okay, I'll explain it to you what it is at some point of time. And you see, you build a better observability, meaning having a better dashboards. We'll all talk about all that. Manage on-call rotation also. So those are some of the few. But the main point here is, as an engineer manager, this is your first goal. It has to be. Okay. How can you make sure your system, your process, your people helps everyone to get to market faster? Okay, that's the major goal. So anywhere you find yourself conflicting with ego-based tasks, right? You actually think through this word. Okay, whenever you find conflict anywhere, how can I make sure my developers can get to market faster or business get to market faster? If you drill down to this one-liner, you will become a better engineering manager. Okay, so your processes, your tools, your techniques, everything has to be based on this. Okay, it has nothing else. It's not about handling some non-technical guy, and not about handling some legacy managers. We'll all explain. I'll give you an example for all that. But core concept will be this: how can I make sure that my business and developers can get to market faster? Is that okay? Can you take this as an underlying principle? Okay. So everything will fall in place once you have one underlying principle. So first is you build an innovative environment. Okay, so we'll all talk about what this innovative environment is, and then helping developers to concentrate on business. Okay, nothing else. Okay, so for example, we do a release every week. Okay, multiple products go every week. There will be a release, like proper week release to production. Not even 2 weeks. It's actually every week we do a release. If there is a bug fix, it happens in a day. So I'll also explain how we can achieve to that level of releases every week. I'm not exaggerating anything. We do it. If you can ask people how we do it. So there are certain things you just need to follow. And process that does not hinder progress. One more mindset you should have that just because you need control, you don't add a checklist. Is that okay? So that's the major thing. So it's not checklist driven. It is basically what? Tools driven. Actually, you have to get someone who removes the manual process out of everything. That's how you have to think. Not in terms of, okay, you know what, you screwed up production, I'll put one more checklist. Not that. Right? It shouldn't be a checklist. It should be something else. Okay? Yeah. Fine. So these are the 14 tips I was talking about. I just came up with all this, but we'll just slowly take it across. So first will be the major one, which is called thinking in small batches. Okay? As any engineering manager, developer, or anyone, you should be thinking in small releases every week, every 2 weeks, every release. Okay? If you can do something small and then go to market. Okay? It can be one small button and then button clicks, go to next page. It has to go to market. Is that okay? So that's how we have to think. It's not that one old chunk, I'll keep it for 6 months and then I'll release it to some. It shouldn't be never be like that. So your developer has to start thinking like that. How can I release it fast to, there can be release where only the code goes, but there won't be any functionality that goes in. You have to get used to that level of releases where the final release will be just that maybe display equal to true or whatever. And you have to remove that and then the button comes up. It has to be like that. So what will happen is, if there are any problems, you will know it before. Okay. So there are lots of, the Git has made life easier right now. It's so easy that you can actually do it in a way that is very easy. It used to be very bad, the branching, and now with the branching and all other strategy with Git, it's all easy, right? You can release it faster. So as an engineering manager, so first thing is you have to think small, think in small batches, okay, and also help your developers and your teammates to think small, so that they can release faster. Okay, you also build process, products or tools into your system, so it becomes easy for you to release. First one. Second is, as an engineering manager, you should know at least one script language. It can be PowerShell, it can be Golang, it can be Python, it can be Bash. I'm more betting more on right now on Python and PowerShell. Okay, learn Python. For everybody has to learn Python. It actually makes your life pretty easy. It's for writing code. It's actually one of the easiest language. I'm not saying for long time maintenance it's a good code, but if you want to do something faster, this is the best place to go. Yeah, Golang has its own way of doing things because it's very much close to Kubernetes, Docker and all. But still, I would still bet on Python and Python. So the one scripting language you should know. And next mindset you should have is KSON. What is KSON? Anybody? Okay. So it's basically continuous improvement.
Continuous improvement.
Okay. Yeah. So how can I help my developers or my business people to improve some certain things every day? Or how can I make sure that, say, build process is taking 15 minutes, okay? You have to figure out, okay, how can I make it, say, 14 minutes? On the next release, it has to be 12. Next release, it has to be 4. Okay, so how can I make it? So what's the best way to do that? Release the build time or solve any problem? Automation, okay. How to measure it, good. Reduce dependencies. Okay, good. We'll leave that on the next slides. Okay, so release automation. How many have 100% automated? One, only one, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. Strive for 100% automation. It is possible. So the guy who raised the hand is from our company only. It is possible. You have to actually push it. You have to make sure that there will be lots of hindrance will be there, build will break, there will be lots of stuff will stop, the release might even get delayed. But if you keep on pushing it yourself and then you are technically good enough to understand and have a process set, you can actually become a 100% automated company. Once your company becomes 100% automated, all things will fall in place because they can release faster. They can now think in small because I don't have to worry about building and then pulling my developers in to build something. Okay, so those are things. So for that, we have lots of process in there. We'll speak about that also. Okay, this one is first. Knowing which one to automate first. How do you know? Okay, so I get into a company. Okay, I'll tell you. I got into some company and then they were releasing it for 2-3 days. They'll spend the whole night and then after that, the next day morning they won't come and something will break up. They will call. You have to call him up and then say, "Come." He'll be all cranky and all. Then everything goes in a circle. Again, he comes and fixes it. Something breaks up. It used to be like that. Then we made sure that release took only 4 hours, and then it was happening during the day. Okay, so we actually did that. So how do we do that? So knowing which one to automate first. How do we? So he said measure, right? That's the first step. What else you can do? What should you do after measuring? Find the biggest pain point and then fix it. Okay, so the best way to say, once you get into a company and then somebody gives you to do stuff, right? It's not with even with DevOps or SRE. It's basically with anywhere you are a developer, what role you are getting, and you will be assigned to certain things. You figure out what is the biggest pain point, and then fix that first, and then next to fix the next biggest pain point. The best way is to then the main thing is you have to measure that, correct? So you have to put a system where you can measure. Most of the time, when you get into a company, there won't be any system that is to measure. The best way is to talk to all the people who actually are already there. To me, right, going and actually taking over and then implementing certain things is become somewhat easier for me because it's actually easy. The actual guys who are already there, right, they know what to do. Exactly what to do. All you have to make sure that you listen it from them, and then you make sure those are all implemented. And the point is they are very busy, right? So you divide between urgent and important, and then you ask them to not to do the urgent and not important things. Then you actually push them into the important and urgent things. Okay, that's the major thing. So that's first thing. So any company you get into, you actually have to make sure that you know how to do this, what to automate first. That's the major thing you need to listen. So first, there won't be any company you get in, you won't have any process, that is for sure. Talk to people, they will tell you exactly what is their major problem, automate that first. So next is measure to manage. So yeah, so what you measure is what you get. Okay, be extremely careful on what you measure, because if you measure the wrong thing, you'll get only wrong things. Anybody give an example for that? What is that? Production errors. Okay, what do you mean by production errors? Okay, can you clarify more?
Things which are somehow broken in the production environment, or the issues which get untested and somehow got into production, and then
okay,
maybe the app was down because of your network failure or
okay,
some component failure, those kind of things.
Okay, so that's a good thing. Well, I'll just change that bit. So the measurement is not to get your production down. Okay, that's what you want to measure, right? What will happen right now? If you measure that, what will happen? What? No, we don't want our things to go to production. Is it correct? Right? So if you tell people, if you break the production, right, I will not accept, that's what I'm going to measure, what people will do? They will not take the toughest bugs, right? Because those bugs, they will know it will break. Is that correct? So that's a wrong thing to measure, right? What should we be measuring? Can anybody tell me for this corresponding example? Percentage of time for what? Uptime, okay, but still the same, no? Okay, percentage of uptime is okay, that's a good one. How can you measure that? Okay. Code quality, okay, I will come back to that, yeah, I'll have that, yeah. Efficient monitoring, okay, what else? Change induced incidents, okay, how many bugs are regression is you are saying? Okay, anything else? Okay, that's a good one, yeah. Business impact, okay, so with respect to developers I'm saying. Observability, good one, yeah. Anything else? Lead time, okay. Cycle time, lead time, okay. Okay, the main point is you don't measure how much, how many times the production is broken, how fast you can roll back. If you can set a process where the rollback is easier, what will happen? I break a production, it takes 2 seconds to roll back, fine. Right? Then what people will do is they will experience more, they want to do more because they have easy system to. So you don't punish people for actually breaking the production. You only punish people if the rollback is wrong. Now the process starts. How it starts? He has to have a proper script first in stage. If the same thing is broken in stage, he should be able to have roll back again. You set a process properly, right? You can build Kubernetes. Kubernetes all come up with all this rolling back features as it is. You see that? So you have to be very careful on what somebody told about code quality, right? Okay. So code quality is, see, this code review, right? It's again a method of controlling developers so that they come to you. Somehow I feel that. Okay, because now with the current scenario, right? Not everyone. Okay, current scenario, what happens is people tell, okay, come to code review. This, if they like that guy, they approve it sooner. If they don't like the guy, it takes time. No, I'm not kidding. Not all. Okay, so for that, you still have to have the process. The major point here is it can be also be automated. Okay, if you use SonarQube, all that stuff, and then you properly write rules, half of it will automate, and then you can actually. If the leads are good, what they will do is normally they will say if the leads are good, so architects, the people I have seen is okay, you have done this mistake, right now change it off. They'll exactly tell you what to do. Only guys who want to, not have a control, they will not say anything wrong. Go change, go change. Is that okay? So you build Sonar Cube, those kind of automation into your system. So code quality is automatically calculated. Okay. So you always be very careful on what you measure. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So these are two books I love to read. This is how I started. The Phoenix project is the first book I started. It's little costly, but still the worth every single penny you have. Best book ever written on DevOps. It's I think somewhere around $2,000, but it's actually the best book you'll ever read. There's actually a story. There is one story actually goes on where they talk about a guy goes and joins there is some firing happened in the company, and then he was promoted to VP from normal infrastructure guy to promoted to VP, and then how he changes the whole culture and everything. It's actually a pretty nice book. And Accelerate is also another book which is very nice. It's not a story, but they have written lots of things about it. Which one? DevOps handbook, huh? Develops road, okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, fine. So these are two books I like a lot. You actually put effort to finish this off. This will help you a lot in understanding the DevOps, engineering manager, next level of engineering managers. Okay, even the level of CTOs is actually the best book to read. Okay, so next thing is, okay, so now we will come back to the questions, no? Okay, so how does how do we manage legacy engineers? Anybody has an answer for that? What is that? Upskill, upskill them. Okay. Anything? Nammala legacy illa. If I am legacy manager, I am also a legacy manager. So you all guys are youth. Huh? Pay more. Okay. Make them project managers. Okay. Anything else? Huh? Bear them as millennials. Okay. True. That is true. What else you can do? What leverage there? Functional knowledge. Good.
Show them benefits of adopting new technologies and tools.
Exactly. So see, the thing is, it's again coming back to measure to manage, right? What you measure is what you get. Okay. If you start measuring collaboration, automatically everything will change. Okay. It's not about who's big, who's small. If you start measuring not that, okay, you know what? I don't care who's smart. If you are smart enough to collaborate and work, that's what I'm going to measure. Automatically, those problems will get solved. Okay. So that's the easiest way to measure. Okay. And then what's the difference between normal operational manager versus engineering manager? Okay. So how many are only managers here? Nobody. Arilla. Again, later I'll take it. Okay. Because I don't like managers. That's why I took the path of I became an architect. Okay. What is the technical qualities needed for engineering manager? Okay. So we'll cover that now. So grasping all cloud concepts. How many clouds are available right now? No, not the cloud vendor. Clouds. Okay, public, private, and hybrid, right? So those are three types of clouds we have. You should be able to understand all three. Okay, some people are very close to on-prem. They say no, on-prem is the best way to have. Some people are very close to public. Like they say, I'll take only AWS, I'll take only Azure, I'll take only GCP. Some are like into that private cloud. What is that? There is one stack and all available, no? Into their own clouds. So all three are needed. Okay, you have to make sure that you are in a position to understand all three clouds, evaluate every single cloud. You don't have to know everything, but you should be able to, you know what, if I come and tell you, you should still have an opinion, but you should be flexible enough to tell, okay, you know what, in this AWS is better, in this Azure is better, in this GCP is better. So you have to get to that level. You don't care who the vendor is, what the cloud is. All you care is what? Business, how much money you save, how much easy it is for my developers to grasp things. You have to get to that level where it's okay. Okay, that's the major thing. So next thing is becoming cloud native. This you have to get into because you will face a situation where you might have to get into another cloud. Okay, suddenly there might be a change in a CEO, a CTO, or some partnership that comes up. They might get some huge discount from, say, Google, and then you're still in Azure. If you are not cloud native enough, you don't have to build cloud native apps. That's what I'm saying. You still build your own, which is easier, goes to market faster. But still, if you suddenly there comes a position where you have to move to cloud, right, different cloud, you should be able to tell them, okay, you know what, I need 6 months. These are things I can list it down. Okay, these are things. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3. This is where we don't have to do anything. So you know what, these are all Dockerized. I can push it there. These are all not Dockerized, but still I used a proper managed service, which is actually pretend. I still keep it with Azure. So you should be able to tell that. So, okay, so you should be able to give a phase plan saying that these are the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. This is what I want. If you get to that level, you should always be ready to that level. Okay, so you understand what cloud native is. That's the more important. Okay, so this is the like it survey. We always do that in our office. Yeah. So if you have to measure that with respect to your company. You should be sending a survey to everybody saying that the questions are like, how fast is engineering practice better, or how build is hindering you? Is there any problem you have? So it's basically strongly agree, disagree, undecided, agree, strongly agree. Okay. These questions you have to build based on the culture you are trying to build, the culture you are trying to emphasize, the people you want to work on. Okay. So if you start asking these type of questions, automatically things will all fall in place. Okay. So the mindset we had, right? What was the mindsets we had like a couple of slides before? So this is what we want, right? So you want to build an innovative environment. You want to build helping developers constantly. So put your questions on these lines. If you do a proper say, it's actually pretty simple once you get to this level of engineering management. You talk to people, you just get their feedback over and over and again. You will figure out, because the people who are with you are already smart. All you have to do is little bit patient enough to listen to them and then implement it. Okay. So get that Likert survey to that level. Whatever you want to measure, you get that Likert survey. Okay. So building and changing culture. This is one of the toughest thing to do, but actually everybody can do. What's the best way to change a culture? Start with yourself. Okay. Anything else? Making it a habit. Okay. Anything? We already spoke about this actually. Huh? Day-to-day activities?
Yeah, put a culture where it is there in your day-to-day activities.
Okay, good. It's there in day-to-day activities. Okay. So how do you implement that? Like? Okay, change ourselves, fine. Understood. Anything else? Why you want to change the culture? Okay. Anything else? Collaboration. Okay.
What is the benefit coming out of it?
What is the benefit coming out of it? Okay.
Kind of a dress code.
Dress code? Okay. What is dress code? And the jeans for the okay. Anything else? Okay. Emphasize to unlearn.
To bring quality outcome, connected minds, common ideas.
Common ideas. Good. Okay. Anything else?
More collaboration.
More collaboration. Okay. Avoid conflicts. Conflict is good.
Have easy go, reach people.
Okay. So fine. Good. So the main point here is, see, you have to be very careful on what you are punishing, what you are rewarding. That's all. You have to be very careful. I mean, everybody makes a mistake. Even me, I'll also make that mistake of I can talk here, but it's very tough. So if you want to change the culture, you have to be very careful on what you are measuring and what you are rewarding. Okay. So say for example, I'll take the same production example. If I am rewarding people who are not producing more bugs, right? What will happen? There won't be much releases. Correct? People will be like, okay, you know what? Out of 10, I released. They'll pick all the modules which is easier. Correct? But if I am rewarding certain things like having a better rollback, Okay, the production if I reward somebody who actually roll back faster and saved the whole production, so what will happen now? People will actually work on how to roll back, right? You get it? So you have to be very careful on it. It will start from small things you do every day. If you want to build an innovative culture, you just be by just giving some award or one certain things will not spoil. So you have to be, even while you talk, when an innovative idea comes, even if you think it's not good, you have to be, you should be able to listen. So that basically you have to make sure that what you measure is what you are punishing, what you are rewarding. If you can equally tween it every day, like we'll all make mistakes. You'll all make mistakes. If you can tween it every day and then make sure that, okay, I want to reward this. So if I see a small behavior that is coming up, say innovating, somebody is telling a small idea, if I'm going to listen to them more, what they'll do is they'll tell more. That's how it happens. So you have to be very careful on what you're measuring. Okay, that's the simplest way to change a culture. Same way, if you say, I can take all the words and put, collaboration also same, right? I might like a guy, if he tells an idea, but that is not being collaborative with, he is not collaborative enough, what we'll do? What we'll do is people wanted their own mastery. Right? They'll say, okay, I myself have to prove myself, then only I am accepted by my boss. Is that right? So you have to break all that. So next is thinking security. This one I'm gonna just skip it off. All you have to do is everywhere. This is basically NFR done should be done by the architects. This has to be in our pipelines. Is that okay? So it has to be in pipeline. It can be some pen test that should be in pipeline. So there are lots of tools available. As an engineering manager, you should be able to push that into the pipeline so the build breaks. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So this is the other one I was talking about. The best practices are there, right? So best practices are there. So what are the best practices you all follow? Documentation. Okay, daily commit. That's a good one. Yeah. Please do daily commit. Don't leave home without committing. That's good. Yeah. Due diligence in the sense, understanding completely. Okay, good. Anything else? Least privilege for user. Good. Okay. Anything else? Production ready checklist. Okay. What do you mean by checklist? Huh?
Developers developing something and then ready to push it to production.
Okay.
The production team should know what they are pushing.
Okay.
And is ready with all the SOP and validations.
Okay. So does it have to be a checklist or it has to be a script?
Can be, if it is script, can be automated.
It should be script.
It should be script.
There shouldn't be any paper the developer opens up and say 1, 2, 3, 4 check, right? That should never happen. It should be a script. The whole process of engineering manager, if you ask me, first is to get to market faster. Next is to remove all the manual things out of the way.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So for you can use Sonar Cube. Sonar Cube is like the beautiful tool you can use, but you should be able to understand all the rules it calls. Actually, it tells you exactly right. Okay. We will only say no, this is a false positive and all that. Don't accept. Okay. Make sure that there are lots of people who will come and tell me, okay, this is false positive, this is not working. If you sit together, you will figure out it's actually there are some false positives. I'm not saying it's completely proper tool. It will pull all the details if you want. Okay. The last one is okay. So did we all get the question? So normal manager and engineering manager is that. What is normal manager? Normal manager only takes care of what? How it's delivered, right? How many bugs are delivered. We don't care about how many bugs are delivered. We care about what? The site is up. More market, we go faster. How much money we are making. So those are the things we should be thinking about. Is that okay? And how much technical and engineering managing should be? You should know at least how to code and some cloud concepts. That is for sure. That you should know how logically write. If you get into a new project on a new company, you should be able to take over and then write some code. That's the level you should be. That's like the minimum level you should be. Okay, because the guys who are 2 years experience are very smarter than us. Okay, we should be able to actually not compete, at least get to their level. You should know when they talk to us, we should be able to relate to them. That's the main thing. And full stack plus security plus DevOps. What's that question again? Okay.
slowly security.
Okay.
And now we are saying like you need not be an architect, but you should understand the architect's mindset.
Mm-mm.
So you are putting everything into
One guy.
one way and
Okay.
you want everything to be done right.
Mm-mm.
So when you say like you should be able to code, that is also this question. If he is a infra guy and has come into DevOps engineer,
Mm-mm.
how he will code and
Okay, okay, I got it. So the point is the guy who's see, this is how we figured out as a single line. What we have figured out is there should be definitely a SRE team or a DevOps team. Okay, there should be a definitely. The developers should not be writing anything with respect to DevOps. But after it has been built, if the build breaks, it should be fixed by the developers. It should be small enough to be fixed by the developers. If it is not, if not the case, it can actually go back to SRE team for the, if it's a bigger one. You get it? Is that okay? So there should be SRE team. The initial setup they will do, say creating cloud apps, and then setting up the build, setting up the triggering point. Those are things they will do, and then they'll pass it to development team. And after that, the maintenance has to be on the actual team, the development team. Okay. If there are any major issues, it has to come back to SRE team. Is that okay? So that's a line. Actually, I think that's a line that will work. That this works in my company. Okay. How soon a dev can become the engineering manager? Okay. Okay. So if the mindset is clear, if you have proper practices, tools, and mindset, you can get it as soon as possible. Okay. So it's the getting into the manager level is nothing but what? How to know and handle people, correct? How to know how to push your ideas and then get it done. So we get to that level, any manager you can become. And then, okay, how do I manage legacy engineers? I think we spoke about that. What was the answer? Okay, measure collaboration, that's all. Yeah, last one is how to technical managers, I don't know. Okay, fine. Okay. So next one is the proactive notifications. This is one, it's a funny thing, I just put it at the end. How many mails we get that we ignore whenever there is a production email, some cloud email that comes in? Do we not ignore those emails? Right? We just, okay. What do huh? Rule and then push it off. Okay. So if any notification gets to that level, please remove the notification. Correct? It's no point. It's just like, okay, there was one mail sent to it's like just a fight, right, between the DevOps team or the operational team and the engineering. There was a trigger there, developer did not see. But that's not a point, right? So you get to a level where if there is a notification, it needs your attention. If it does not need attention, there is no point in getting that email. Remove that. It's no need. What are we going to get out of it? Writing a proper log, writing observability, making sure I can trace back to what is the problem is agreed. Okay. If you are going to send every day 10 warning emails, why are you actually wasting it? Remove it off. So the notification has to be extremely proactive and needs a manual attention. Then you set up a notification. Otherwise, don't set. Okay, that's the crux. So we all saw the 14. Okay. So we all saw 14. The main thing I want to convey out of this is the mindset you should have. You have to build an innovative environment. That's your goal. That's the agree goal. And then you help developers to concentrate business so that they only write business code, not anything with respect to script. And then don't put a checklist. Okay, automate it. Is that okay? And the golden rule is, how can I make sure that I can get to market faster? It can be multiple things. So you figure out what all needs to be done. You can read books and then people will say, Amazon does 25,000 releases per day. We can't do all that. Okay. So you figure out how can I get to market faster in my company. Okay, thank you guys.